Hey everyone, welcome to Up All Night DIY. I'm Monica. Thanks for joining me. This video is part of the Sign Wednesday challenge hosted by Eileen at Krafty Leeny and Diane and Yanni at DecoEasy. Please be sure to visit all the talented artists and crafters on the playlist for inspiration and tips. I've linked the information below. The supplies I used for today's projects are Ceramcoat whipped cream chalk paint, as well as a variety of Ceramcoat acrylic paints. I've listed all the colors below. A black marker, a plank or a plaque. Mine is 7¼ inch by 18 inch. Some painter's tape, folk art floating medium, transfer paper, and the free printables. I've also linked the free printables below. Clear acrylic sealer spray, ribbon of your choice, Chenille Stem, glue dots, or hot glue. I base coated my plank with the whipped cream chalk paint. I usually do 2 coats, but I only did 1 for this. Then I dry brushed my edges with my charcoal paint to give it that worn, aged look. I lined up my printables and taped them together. I creased the edges before taping them to the plank. I slid my transfer paper between the plank and paper and traced my text and bicycle onto the surface. With my marker, I outlined the text. I decided to add little arrows to the J and Y. With Tropic blue, I'll paint the handlebars and the frame of the bicycle. Now with my charcoal paint, I'll paint in the hand grips and the tire. With Drizzle Gray, I paint in the connectors on the bike and the tire. Then with a liner brush and Drizzle Gray, I paint the vertical lines of the basket and the well of the tire. The tire is a wee bit wonky, but that's okay. That just adds to the whimsy. The basket's horizontal bars, I'll paint with Rain Gray. I'm using my liner brush for these small areas. It's much easier. And I use Rain Gray for the spokes and the little disc on the tire too. I'll dip my small flat brush into some floating medium and side load with rain gray to shade all of the drizzle gray parts. I'll reload my brush frequently whenever I'm floating the shadows. After cleaning my brush, I'll reload with float and side load with Tahiti blue, and then I'll shade the Tropic Bay blue parts. With each new color, I dip my brush into the medium, working it into the bristles, then dip one corner of my brush into my paint. Then I stroke my brush back and forth to get that gradient of color. Now with my liner brush and Tahiti blue, I outline the top of the rear handlebar just to distinguish it from the one that's closer to us. And I'll add a little bit to the top of the fender. With Hippo Gray, I'll shade the hand grips, the basket horizontal bars, and the tire. I know it's hard to see the shading on the tires on the video, but in person it makes a difference. I'll add highlights with float medium and white. The highlights will go opposite the shadows. Really just anywhere that light would be reflecting. And I'll add white stripes to the frame's crossbar and the petal fender. Now I'll fill my basket with some lavender. I'll dip my round brush into my herb garden green and dip the tip into my Irish moss. To make the leaves of my flowers, I add pressure as I start my stroke and release the pressure as I come to the tip of the leaf. This will give it the pointed end. I just add the leaves in all different directions so that they look wild and have some movement. With GP Purple and Pansy, I'll dip out my flowers. I start by dipping my brush end into the Pansy and just follow kind of a zigzag line amongst the leaves. Some of the flowers are standing upright, some drape the basket. No real rhyme or reason, just whichever way I feel. Then with the GP Purple, I'll cluster the dots among the darker Pansy Purple. This will add some depth. In the empty bottom part of the basket, I'll dot with the 3 shades of green. Again, no rhyme or reason, just trying to make it look full. I'm dry brushing the plank's edges with more charcoal before painting on some stripes. I just did the stripes quickly so that they look faded. It's kind of a dry brush technique, but there's a little more paint on it than if you were just straight up dry brushing. And I do the stripes all the way around the perimeter. Once the paint is dry, I spray my plank with my sealer. I've cut 2 8-inch lengths of ribbon. I place them on top of each other, fold them in half, then again lengthwise, and cut a dovetail into them. I pinch the ribbons in the middle, and I wrap my chenille stem around the center and twist. Then I'll fluff the ribbon into an X shape. I'm going to add my bow to the corner of my sign. If you want to hang it, you can drill a hole in the top center of your sign, add some wire, and attach the ribbon there. Up to you, whatever your preference. I'm going to add mine with the glue dot because I'm not really sure if I like it better with or without it. If I wanted it permanent though, I would just hot glue it. I hope you enjoyed watching and that you'll give it a go. I love hand painting, and I love this message because it's true. It really is all about the journey. I would love it if you'd subscribe, like, and share. Also, please tick the bell icon for notifications of upcoming videos. Remember to grab your free printables below. Also, please be sure to check out the playlist. There are many talented artists and crafters. You won't be sorry. Thanks for hanging with me. See you next time. Up all night with Monica.